Okay, by the time you're hearing this, I'm most likely going to be on my way down south. I've got myself a vacation for the week, and because of this, the videos for the next few days have all been pre-recorded, and we're only going to upload one video a day from Monday up until the end of the week. I'm going to California, unfortunately not to watch any LA versus Edmonton hockey, but just to chill out, spending some time with the family. We'll see what happens. But either way, because of this vacation, a lot of the videos coming over in the next few days are not going to be news update videos with playoff coverage, etc., etc. We're mostly just going to be going over topics that are kind of just grab bag-ish kind of things that we could talk about anytime and it's relevant. So apologies to those who have been looking forward to the week for Lego Rocks 99 playoff coverage content, but unfortunately I have to take some time off to spend some time with the folks. At the very least, I'm getting a video out there per day, so that's what the schedule is going to look like. But either way, today we're going to be talking about the Abbotsford Canucks in the AHL. Because when it comes to this team and their season, they've been doing a pretty good job, and it all culminated at the end of their first-round series against the Bakersfield Condors. Now, last season, if you remember, in 2022, the Abbey Canucks played off against Bakersfield, and they actually lost in the first round, so it was a pretty good rematch to see here take place in 2023. And after 2 games in the series, Abbotsford ended up winning both of them, and as a result, they have advanced to the second round. Now, it's a little bit different, the playoff format in the AHL, which is why it's a 2-game elimination. It's best 2 out of 3 rather than 3 out of 7 in the first round. But either way, Abbotsford has advanced. They're waiting for their opponent at the time of me recording this audio, and I just wanted to share some thoughts going over the Canucks the Abbey Canucks, that is, and just talking about some of the players, talking about the experience, because a few days ago, when everybody was all hyped up for Abbotsford Game 1 against Bakersfield, I did have a few friends of mine actually attend the game and report to me personally what they were seeing and what they were kind of absorbing from the game. Firstly was the presence, because the Abbotsford Canucks have a very passionate fan base. You've got a lot of folks here in the Lower Mainland that are nuts for Abbey, and it's awesome to see just the enthusiasm for the minor league guys. And when one of my friends was actually there at the arena, he was like, yeah, I'm sitting really close by to Henrik, Daniel, Castonguay, Granado, you've got Alvin here too. The entire staff of the Canucks higher-ups were indeed there to watch some of this AHL playoff action. So just nice seeing the people that are getting involved. Nice to see the support from not only the fans, but the executives of the Vancouver Canucks as well. But when it comes to that Game 1 against Bakersfield, it was a pretty convincing 3-0 score for Abbey. First goal of the playoffs scored by Nils Hoglander, assisted by Kyle Rowe and Noah Juleson. Second goal, Max Sasson, the guy they recently signed, also assisted by Kyle Rowe. This one also assisted by Nils Hoglander. And then you had yourselves a power play bomb by Jack Rathbone in the third period, giving the Canucks the 3-0 lead. Spencer Martin had himself a shutout in this game, so good on Martin for actually being able to consistently put up numbers in the AHL. We know he had a really tough season this year, especially with the main Vancouver squad. He really wasn't up to snuff to playing as a full-time backup. But either way, he gets the shutout in Game 1, and in Game 2, the Canucks actually switch over to Artur Silovs. He makes 26 saves on 28 shots against, 2 goals for Bakersfield, but the Abbey Canucks themselves had 4. So there you go. Another showcase here by Abbey where they win. Goals were scored by Jack Rathbone, assisted by Justin Dowling and Linus Karlsson, so good on Karlsson for getting involved in the offense there. 2-0 goal scored by Brady Keeper, assisted by Nils Hoglander and Kyle Rowe. The Bakersfield team then ends up getting 2 in a row, James Hamblin and then Raphael Lavoie, before Nils Hoglander comes back and scores a goal to give Abbey the 3-2 lead. You then had yourselves John Stevens at the end, the empty net goal, sealing the deal, making it 4-2, and the Abbey Canucks end up going to the second round here after fighting the good fight and winning one out against Bakersfield. Now, an interesting thing that I wanted to talk about in this video goes over a guy whose name we've already mentioned quite a few times in this video. Nils Hoglander. The guy has himself such a good opportunity here to just develop and get a little bit more confident and play his game, because we all kind of know from this season's worth of play in the NHL, Nils Hoglander had a pretty rough time. He had 9 points in 25 games, was not really used all too much near the top of the lineup, and as a result he got sent down and was just told pretty much to hone his game, improve, get a little bit more confident, get a little bit more ambitious with the plays you're trying to make and see what you're able to do. Hoglander ended off the 22-23 AHL season with 32 points in 45 games played, 14 goals, and 18 assists. Now, that actually is a pretty similar point production to the rookie season he had in the NHL, but that's besides the point. Hoglander has 4 points in the 2 playoff games so far for Abby, and he has looked like an absolute menace out there. If you go on Twitter, you go on social media, you search up what Canucks fans are saying about Hoglander, you'll find endless praise for the way this guy has played over the past few weeks. He's just been an absolute hound dog, and a lot of the qualities that made Hoglander an attractive prospect back in 2019 are starting to showcase themselves off a lot more recently than they had been at any other point in the season. This is mostly because of that confidence. Hoglander, at his best, is a player with bite. He's got a lot of skill, he's got great cardio, and he's a pretty quick and nimble guy. So, when he's at his best, he's using all of these skills together to create a package that is just really difficult to play against and is just really lethal in the offensive zone. He's started to really get that together once more after really fading away and not being as effective in earlier parts of the season with the NHL's Vancouver Canucks. So for Hoglander, this is really what you kind of wanted out of this guy, especially when you compare to some of the other players that have gotten their chance to shine with the main squad towards the end of the year. Even Vasily Podkolzin, you could say, Hoglander was kind of playing better than, especially during their time in Abbey. But Podkolzin got the call-up, Hoglander didn't. Hoglander's still there. Either way, though, there are some very good improvements that we can acknowledge with Hoglander, but there also is another player that I wanted to talk about whose name we haven't said at all in this video just yet. Another guy who was a second-round pick by the Vancouver Canucks, this time in the 2021 NHL Entry Draft. I also wanted to talk about Danila Klimovich, because when it comes to Klimovich and the way he is played, you might look at his roster numbers and say, wait a minute, the guy has 0 points in 2 games played, only 29 points in 67 games with the team in the regular season. What is there to talk about with Klimovich? And the thing is, with Klimovich here, he's a player that has actually improved his game so much that I think the improvements definitely need to be talked about. You see, he was drafted straight out of the Belarusian League, which is so rare to see a guy even get selected in the draft from that league in the first place, that seeing him go in the second round because the Canucks valued his potential is a pretty good sign as to what type of a player profile he is. He was a goal scorer with some really nifty hands, some crazy creativity, and if everything was to work out for Klimovich, he could be one of the most unpredictable and skilled players the Canucks could have in their system. But, as we had said, he's straight out of Belarus, so there's not really too strong of a foundation there when it comes to other players who have experienced similar development paths. And so last season, when he had 18 points in 62 games played, we all said, okay, it's fine. He is 18, he's in the AHL for the first time, it's a huge step up from Belarus, and this season he went out there and had as many goals as he had points last year. He just started putting the puck in the back of the net. And even in the postseason, even though he's got 0 points, there are still many fans talking about the impact Klimovich has had and how he actually is making a good difference. Here's a tweet from Cody Severson talking about Game 1 and how Klimovich performed there. He hasn't played a ton tonight, but in the little minutes he has played, he's drawn 2 penalties to give the Canucks crucial power play time. The kid's AHL playoff debut won't have much on the score sheet, but his contributions were key to this performance. And furthermore, when you actually look at just the goals themselves, all the goals that he had scored to end off the regular season, this guy's really started to find his groove at being just a sniper. On the rush, on the stick, off the stick, quick release, snapshots, whatever. Danila Klimovich is playing a game that's a lot more well-rounded and also a lot more rewarding offensively too. 17 goals out of a 19-year-old in the AHL certainly isn't bad by any means, and heading into the next few seasons, if he's really able to just get more comfortable being in the AHL and keeping up with this pace, then Klimovich has a really legit shot at being something eventually down the line, even though he was a second-round pick from last year, or 2 years ago, out of Belarus. So, for Klimovich, there are some really good things we've been seeing out of him. For Nils Hoglander, same thing could be said. These guys have improved their games tremendously to the point that I felt it was more than appropriate to make a video about them. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you've been watching the Abbey Canucks games, if you were there at the arena, what are your thoughts on these two and how the Canucks have been playing in general? I gotta go and start pre-recording videos for the rest of the week because I'm gonna be out about in California, so Peace out to all of y'all in Vancouver. I'm looking forward to seeing the sun for once. But thoughts in the comments either way, all your opinions about the Canucks and Klimovich, Hoglander, as well as the development. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.